Welcome back to BuzzMoncton.com. We are super excited today to be talking with one of the championship fiddle players from right here in our neighborhood. She has a global reputation. She's pretty much played for kings and queens and duchesses and princesses. I might be exaggerating that part, but we'll find out. Samantha Robichaud is joining us. Welcome to BuzzMoncton.com, Samantha.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's such a treat for us to be talking to you today. It's fantastic.
Yay.
I don't know where to start with you, so let's start with the instrument that you love, the one you're holding there.
Yes.
Because, you have quite a wonderful story to share about that one. You've had it a long time.
Yes, I totally. This is my, I guess I would call it my baby. It's my prized possession. I absolutely love it. I was only 10 years old when I bought my very first violin, and this is the violin that I chose. It's one of those instruments that it just really kind of clicked and it spoke to me. The luthier who made it is from Fredericton, and he came to me and said, you know, I've got this instrument that I'm looking to find a really good home for it, and I really want somebody who's going to play it and really, you know, take good care of it. And yeah, he kind of gave me good first dibs on it, and like I said, I was 10 years old and I bought it with my own prize money that I had kept saving from different competitions, and I fell in love with it. So it's called a Boudreaux Various. That's the name of it, and it's kind of like a spin from the Stradivarius, and it's worth just as much as a Stradivarius to me.
I imagine. You should check if it's numbered. Maybe they're numbered and
I know.
be worth a lot that way.
I'll just put a number in there.
But of course, any monetary value would pale in comparison to what it has of significance to you, right?
Absolutely,
so,
yeah.
I don't know, there's so much that I want to talk to you about, right? So I want to take you back to 2010 if I could, though.
Sure.
And the Winter Olympics. You know, we in Moncton, it was a pretty well-kept secret, and I imagine you must have had a pretty good indication early on that you were going to be a part of that. Was it the closing ceremonies?
It was the opening ceremony.
It was the opening ceremony. Yes. It was one of those. And all of a sudden, you were making headline news. You know, this fiddle player from Moncton, fantastic Samantha Robichaud, will be representing at the Winter Olympics at the opening ceremonies. Can you walk me through what it must have felt like? Yeah,
it was probably the most surreal experience of my life. I can take you back as far as when I was in grade 6. I had, I think it was a supply teacher at the time, and they said, you know, as an exercise, write down 5 things that you really want to do when you grow up. And I put on there that I wanted to go to compete at the Canadian Grand Masters, and I did that when I was, I think, 11. And I wanted to do, what else did I want to do? I wanted to do the, play the Grand Ole Opry, and I did that. And I wanted to play at the Olympics. So those were like the top 3. And he kind of looked at me and was like, maybe you want to pick like realistic things that you'd like to do. And I was like, these are my goals. Like, this is what I want to do. So I got the phone call from my manager, and I remember I had a paintbrush in my hand. I was painting my bathroom at the time. And he said, okay, so I just got a really interesting and very exciting phone call. The Olympics are coming up. They want you to be a part of it, but they can't and won't tell you anything until you sign a confidentiality agreement. I was like, okay, like, I don't care if I'm waving a flag. I don't care if I'm standing there doing nothing. Like, I will do anything, sure. So I signed the paperwork and found out that I was going to be a part of the opening ceremonies, and that we were going to be teamed up with 5 different fiddlers across Canada, and we were each going to be representing different parts of Canada. So like, I was the East Coast fiddler, and I was dressed in like this really funky kilt and wild hair and fishneck stockings. It was just really, really wild. And we had everyone from the East Coast to the West Coast performing. So April Verch and Sierra Noble and Andre Brunet was doing the Québécois, and we had Daniel Lapp for Vancouver. We had, we had Sierra Noble. She was representing the Métis, and then we had Ashley McIsaac, kind of like the head focal point. So it was just such a wild experience to be able to play with such an incredible range of fiddle players, and fiddle players that I've looked up to and were friends with, and then let alone get to be on such a world stage was just incredible. And we got there and we didn't even know what we were going to end up doing until we kind of stepped foot onto like this big practice platform, and they're like, okay, so this is what's going to happen. So we had to learn how to do a routine and dance, and I am not a dancer, so that took a lot of work. And we were so sore by the end of the weekend, but nobody wanted to admit that we were sore and tired.
Of course not.
So we only found out by the last day when we dropped off at the airport, that the girl was like, you know, like every single one of you has said like, you guys are super sore, and we had to go grab some Advil for so-and-so. And I was like, oh, we were all trying to act tough. But it was just such a bonding experience, and we had an absolute blast. And to be a part of that vibe of, you know, being in Vancouver at that time and being part of something so huge, and, you know, the whole world kind of stops for a minute and comes together. So it was pretty incredible.
Wow. And so here you are, a career now that you're whatever many years deep into, I'm going to say 20 plus, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And you could take it anywhere, right? But you've had many blessings, and one of them I would think is the fact that you're still able to do what you do, the craft that you love, and do it in your hometown.
Yes.
How important is that, eh?
It's incredible. I'm really fortunate that I get to travel around the world to do different things. So, you know, it's amazing that, you know, Moncton and Riverview, New Brunswick is my home base. I get to teach from my home studio, and, you know, I really enjoy being able to share music and help people, you know, either realize a goal, whether they want to do it as a retirement thing or they want to do it as a career or just for fun, anything like that. I really enjoy teaching, and it's a lot of fun. So getting to do that here in my hometown, but yet I can sneak off for a couple of weeks or a little bit to do, you know, a tour either in California or go overseas. And I also get to do my recordings, so I get to sing and do songwriting as well. And from there, I get to even have some of my songs put on TV shows. So it's you get to be a little bit of, you have to be a jack of all trades, I guess, to make it a career, and you have to be versatile. So, you know, I just try and go with the flow and be grateful that I get to do this every day.
Yeah. There's so much we could talk about. We could have 2 or 3 different of these, I'm sure, but I don't want to let you go without asking you about the future, because it's something we get excited about here at Buzz Moncton, is to find out what local artists are up to and what's coming down the road. And the grapevine now is buzzing about a new project. Now, how many albums, I should ask, first of all, do you have your name on?
Oh my gosh. I think it's 7.
Okay.
I want to say 7, or there will be 7.
Right.
I have to stop and count. But we have one coming out in the spring, and it's one that I'm doing with Chris Colpaw, and it's more of a stripped down version. A lot of the albums that I've done are usually pretty high production, so there's a lot of, you know, fiddle obviously and guitar, but then there's bass and drums and shakers, and like there's a lot of percussion going on, and there's a lot of effects. So what I was finding is, like, I went and did house concerts, like home roots tours, or Chris and I will also go and do a lot of tours or shows, just him and I. And there's such a kind of raw simplicity to it, and it's so beautiful to be able to just hear the guitar and the fiddle together without any other distractions. So I really wanted to captivate kind of that sound and that feeling, and get it on record. So the title of the album is called Simplicity. So it's going to be Chris and I just basically playing guitar and fiddle. I even have I play a little bit of cello on it, but it's just really understated. So it's a beautiful album. I'm super proud of it, and I think that everyone's going to really enjoy it.
Yes, well, we were quite enjoying when you were able to join us for our first ever benefit for Christmas Daddies in November, and it was you and Chris, of course, who joined us that day. And
yes.
People are still talking about that performance. It was just over the top. You guys complement each other so well.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we have so much fun. It's kind of hard not to, you know, it's kind of infectious. It's kind of hard not to get involved and enjoy it.
So we'll certainly look forward to that release. Watch for its simplicity. And by the way, the performance video that we talked about from that benefit is on buzzmoncton.com, on Buzz TV, as a matter of fact. And for anyone who hasn't checked it out yet, you really should. It'll be, what I think was 16 or 22 minutes, something like that. It's the best 22 minutes you'll spend today. I promise you that. So we'll look forward to all the news and the excitement and all the buzz, if you will, surrounding Simplicity, and we'll keep everyone up to date and like that. Thank you so much again for being here. It's been a real treat.
Thank you.
All right, Samantha, you're the best.
Thank you.
Right, working with Chris and everything. This is where we talk gibberish. So
oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
We can talk about our hair.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Mine's a highlight.
Oh, it just takes a second, roll in the bed.